Hi there, I'm Abby at Gearflow, and in this video we're going to walk through how Gearflow's Parts Hub Pro works all the way from part request to fulfillment. A quick shameless plug, Gearflow is the only tool that makes it easier for fleets to work with their dealers on parts by providing one place to work with all your vendors, by cutting down phone calls and miscommunication, and finally by providing insights that provide success for your whole fleet. So let's dive right in. Once you've got your workspace all set up and invited your team to Gearflow, it's super easy for technicians to start submitting parts requests from the field with the Gearflow Parts Hub Pro mobile app. So you're going to log in to the Parts Hub Pro app and select Create a New Request. It's the default page right here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to select the machine that we need parts for. And if you already have your fleet info in Gearflow, you can just select it from the options there, or you can add the machine if it's not already added to your Gearflow account. Now we're going to add the part. Adding the part number is optional, but definitely helpful if you have it. And if not, you'll be required to add a description that Gearflow will include along with your machine's serial number when you send this request to your dealer. And you can add any other details to the description that would help your vendor identify the part that you need. So let's go ahead and add that. And you can also add all the parts that you are requesting for this particular machine to this same request as well. And you can also include any photos that would help your dealer simply by adding them right here from your phone. Okay, now we'll want to select the location that we want our parts to go to. This is the location I want, but you can also select other ones as well. And then we're going to select which of our dealers we'd like to send this request for quotes to. And we can also add new vendors as well. So let's say we'd like to send this request to this vendor, and we would like to request that we receive these parts via will call or pickup. And there is also the option to request shipping. We're going to go ahead and add another vendor as well. Okay, lastly, we'll want to select the urgency of this request, which will let our dealer know. For example, if a machine is down and that this is a critical request, and so we're going to go ahead and select that this is high priority and that this machine is down. And so after that, you'll just go ahead and hit submit, and you have created a request on Gearflow. And you can also see all the requests you've submitted and their status by heading over here to this page, right here from within the mobile app. And if you send requests to your parts purchaser, for example, Gearflow also helps make that process more organized and easy to manage. Because anyone on your parts team who handles requests and working with your vendors will be able to view, edit, and approve requests in Gearflow as well. You can also set up different roles like requester and purchaser and add approval processes or cost thresholds so that you have control and visibility into that ordering process. Okay, so now let's pretend that we are now the parts purchaser, the person who has been designated by your organization to approve requests. So your parts manager will get notified in Gearflow with a notification or with an email, depending on what your settings are, that there is a new request and be prompted to approve it. And here you can add any additional info for the dealers to receive along with this request. And of course, see all the details that the person who submitted the request included, including the machine, location, and everything that the requester here has already added. And you can also edit this request, like I said, or you can go ahead and cancel it, or you can even mark it as fulfilled from parts that you have in your inventory. So let's go ahead and say we want to add some additional parts to this request. So we would like to edit it. So now that we've reviewed all of that information, we can also preview the email that our vendors are going to receive when we go ahead and submit this request after we approve it. So we're going to go ahead and click Approve Request. We can also set reminders to follow up if we don't receive any replies or responses. And we can also add other users, other people on our team to this request so that we can keep them in the loop and they'll get automatically notified whenever there's an update on the request. Flipping over to now the vendor's point of view, your selected dealers will get notified that you've submitted a request and that you've requested a quote from them. And so here we can see the email that has been sent out to this particular dealer. And all of those details that you've been provided are right here so that they can accurately quote you. And vendors actually don't need a Gearflow account to submit a quote. Depending on how you want to work with each of your dealers, your dealer might give you a call and you can manage the request and quote yourself in Gearflow, and then your dealer could invoice you as they normally do. Or conversely, your dealer can simply click Submit from this request email, and then they will be brought to a screen right here where they can add in all of the details of the quote themselves. They'll be able to start responding to your requests in Gearflow right from the moment that you send them, again, without having to create their own Gearflow account. So dealers can enter their pricing, parts numbers, and quantities, and also add quote numbers for their own tracking purposes right here to the request in Gearflow. And just like that, your dealer can send you a quote. When a dealer submits a quote, your team will get alerted that your quote is ready for review. You could head over and review the quote. So after reviewing the quote, if all looks good, you can add in a purchase order number, and hit confirm. And Gearflow will actually automatically generate a purchase order and send it to your dealer. And so now we can go ahead and close this request, or we can leave it open if we would still like to continue receiving quotes from the other dealers that we submitted the request to. So let's go ahead and leave this open. Your dealer will be notified when you approve the quote and will receive that auto-generated purchase order via email. And here we have an example of what that looks like. And you can see that your dealer can easily review any information that they would need to process your order and invoice you as they typically would. And so let's go ahead and click this manage order button. And once again, your dealer is able to manage your requests and your approved quotes that you send to them without needing to set up their own Gearflow account. Let's say that this part is available, your dealer can go ahead and mark that the part is ready for pickup. And now if the customer had requested that this part be shipped, then the dealer would also have the option to enter in any shipping information on the screen as well. Heading back over to the purchaser's side, you can see here that the order is now ready. And so you can go in and click into the status of this order, and you can see that you've been quoted. You already sent the PO back to your vendor, and now they are currently fulfilling your order. Another way that Gearflow makes the entire ordering and requesting process a lot smoother is by allowing you and your team to message your dealer about your orders right on the orders and requests themselves. And that eliminates a lot of confusion and miscommunication. As we can see here, we have a message from the dealer. We can go in and say, yes, that's fine. You can also message the Gearflow support team, as well as message back and forth with your own team about your requests and orders. And finally, when you've received your parts, you can simply mark them as received. If you want to skip the parts run completely, rather than marking the order as received, you can instead choose to book same-day pickup from your dealer with Gearflow Courier powered by Curry. Curry is a trusted service that provides last-mile deliveries for the construction industry. By using Gearflow, teams have been able to reduce their fulfillment time, for example, by more than 90% in some cases, which obviously reduces downtime across machines, across the whole fleet, really stacking up those potential savings over the course of a year. And using Gearflow's insights and reporting, fleet managers and leaders can finally see the entire parts ordering process and track and prevent spending anomalies across the entire fleet. And as we saw, technicians can focus on keeping machines up and running instead of tracking down parts and managing the order process. And your parts managers or parts team can take control of their process and workday and finally put an end to all that phone tag and really take their vendor management to the next level. And so here is just a quick peek at some of the reporting that is available in Gearflow. You'll be able to see things like your total parts spend, your average request fulfillment time, and also see your savings and the impact to your lead time as your team is using Gearflow. So that covers how Gearflow works from request all the way to fulfillment. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or want to see how Parts Hub Pro could work for your team, just go to gearflow.com to book a demo, learn more, or get in contact with us with any questions that you have.